So it's a good question, Malcolm. Hey, like, do we crave these flavors because we depended on these foods for survival for so many millennia and millennia? Something that our ancestors ate. Like, did we evolve to crave these flavors? Or, are we searching for these flavors in the world around us for a specific function?
Right.
And this is one of the most fascinating things when you get into Chinese herbal medicine, Ayurvedic herbal medicine, the importance of the flavors. Each flavor is tremendously healing to the human body. We've got sweet, bitter.
I think most of us obviously are drawn to the sweet,
pungent,
myself included.
And fascinatingly, the flavor sour is tremendously medicinal. So let me just read to you from the Yoga of Herbs. So this is a description of the taste from the Charak Samhita. So this text is literally, 3,000 years old. So the sweet taste is nourishing. Oh, I'm reading about sweet.
It's my influence.
Sour.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's a little known tidbit: is that like myself, we've all been raised in a culture that favors sweet. I mean, children, we just love it. There's something about that kind of nurturing hug that we get. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sugar coma that we get into. And we'll predominantly seek that out growing up. I mean, heck, I still do it, like even though I've learned to expand my palate, still working on bitter, appreciating that. And Denise is going to talk about all these flavors, but they have shown that the earlier you can expose children to different flavors, the less they'll have that craving for sweet and more of an acceptance, and in particular sour. And that's one of the benefits of introducing the sour flavor to ourselves and children as early as possible. Okay, you're going to talk about sour.
Yeah, and the sweet and sour go so well together too.
That's right.
It's very interesting. But yeah, the sour taste improves the taste of food. So when we're looking at these fermented foods, in many cases, they're condiments. Hey, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Like the pickle is not going to be the substantial part of your meal, right? That's the pickle is a condiment.
Yeah.
The sour taste improves the taste of food, enkindles the digestive fire. So the sour flavor actually gets your digestive fire going, which is it's one of the main reasons why I think we have these sour foods. It invigorates, it awakens the mind, it gives firmness to the senses. I don't know who tasted that pickle, but do you feel more awake now that you had that little pickle?
And your mouth is just like salivating, right? It's heightened.
So the sour flavor dispels intestinal gas and flatus.
Oh, no, hopefully not immediately.
Yeah, it gives contentment to the heart, promotes salivation. So the more you salivate, the more you can digest your food. It aids swallowing. It aids moistening and digestion of food. It gives nourishment. It is light, hot, and wet. But as you can see, what would a meal be without this sour flavor? And we're talking about salivating.
Yeah, which is the start of digestion. Primarily in our mouth, we produce enzymes like amylase, which helps break down carbohydrates. And then, of course, that's also preparing the hydrochloric acid in our stomach, another stage in the digestion.
Yeah, so, we can look everywhere we look, though, we can find the sour flavor in the traditional foods. Where would we be without mustard, You know, where would we be without salad dressings? You know, so we can't escape the presence of fermented foods literally in every aspect of our life and diet.
Yeah. So what's happening? Some of these bacteria that we're going to talk about in a moment is you've heard maybe some of these familiar names or groups of bacteria. So we got Lactobacillus acidophilus. I don't know if I've spelt that right, but if we look at, acid philos, acid loving. And so these lactobacillus organisms, one of their byproducts of fermentation, consuming foods, transforming that pickle, is they create a byproduct of lactic acid. Now, this is very different than the lactic acid that we know that builds up in our muscles after workout. It's a different form of lactic acid. It's different than lactic acid, which is used in labs as a preservative. This is its own type of lactic acid that is unique as a byproduct that these lactobacillus organisms create.
Yeah, and one of the most important things with pickles, when you look across cultures, if we look at Japan, for example, they serve these pickles on the side of their meal, and you have a little pickle whenever your mouth gets tired of the taste of your food.
Mm.
So whenever you're eating your food and you can't taste it anymore, like you got used to the flavor of it, that's when you have a little pickle. Cleanses your palate. Then you can taste your food all over again. It's really the flavor of foods that is nourishing to our body. So the more we can taste our foods, the more it's going to nourish us, as far as the principles go with the 5 flavors.
Yeah.